it, I just really had to come out to school and come into my car because I was crying and I didn't want them to think that something was wrong. Because it's nothing wrong. It's just that I came out of a meeting with my director at the agency I work with, the superintendent of the school that I work at, the principal of this, and the principals of the elementary school, middle school, and high school. And it just really was a very positive meeting. And when my director told me about the meeting this morning at approximately like 9 a.m., I was very, very nervous because I thought that I was going to have to go in there and like prove myself worthy to be back in this school again. And what happened was I went in the meeting to find out that I've already proven myself worthy. And these people are giving such great feedback that it just makes me emotional because, you know, when you're walking in purpose, the enemy doesn't want us to be walking in purpose. The enemy doesn't want us to truly get in tune with ourselves, because then we become a powerful force that's not to be reckoned with. And I'm just grateful because I've come up against a lot of challenges walking in my purpose. But today really sealed the deal for me. I enjoy what I'm doing. I've gone through a challenge with school and completing my master's degree. And the universe always makes a way for you, even in the face of adversity. And the universe has made a way. I'm robbing Peter a little bit to pay Paul to make sure my tuition gets paid, but the money is there. And I just have to, bring it from this pot and put it in that pot, and that pot will pay you when we get it, And the fact that my director was there at the meeting, hearing all these positive things about me that I wasn't aware was going to be said, she's like, "Oh, I see a bonus check in your future." And I'm just grateful for that. I'm just grateful to be in a position where my hard work actually gets recognized. And because it's challenging. I mean, you have to think, like, I'm a homeschooling mom and I'm coming to work at a school. Like, it has presented many challenges, but I'm just grateful that I haven't given up and I haven't quit on me. This is way beyond what I'm doing every day at this school. Is just way beyond me. It's just way, way beyond me. Like, it has nothing to do with me. And I'm just grateful that every day I come in and I have something to share with these students that they might not can even use right now. And I always tell them that, like, it might not make sense what I'm saying to you right now, but you'll be able to recall it and you'll be able to use it when it's necessary. And I'm just grateful to be able to have the gifts that I have to do what I do. Because, honey, when I tell you, look at the signs on the pipe. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. Like, I literally got emotional at the talent show, and it's because, for one, I got emotional because I have students that were begging me to make sure I made it to the talent show. Like, "Mrs. Jackson, you're going to be there, right? Mrs. Jackson, you walking with us to the library? Mrs. Jackson, you going to..." Like, I'm sitting here on this video trying to put into words how I feel, and it is very, very challenging to put into words how I feel. But if you can get anything from what I'm saying, just don't let fear win. Don't let fear win. Because when it's something that you're supposed to be doing, when it's a task that you're born to do, the universe is going to make a way. The universe is going to make a way. Because when I tell you, I started driving to school in one vehicle. And now that vehicle is sitting in my driveway and I can't drive it anymore. And now I'm driving this vehicle. It just was like, oh, okay. Like, I can go into depths about how the universe has been showing up for me. But, I went, and if you've been following me, like, I went and got new tires on my car. Like, I was like, okay, like, we doing this. And then shortly after that car stopped working. But we had already had this van. But this van had been sitting in the driveway, not able to start, because after I hit the deer in the van, the door wouldn't close. So with that door not closing, it killed the battery. And that is like a $300, $400 battery. So I was like, well, I'm just going to continue to drive the car. I'm going to get new tires on the car. I'm going to get the oil change on the car, yada, yada, yada. And then, But what I did was I made sure when I had the money, I'm like, I'm just going to buy the battery for the van. Whether we get it fixed or not, like, I just need to make sure that if something goes down, I need to be able to get in that van and start that van. So I got a battery, and me and my husband even contemplated taking it back because we had came upon another financial, it was a little bit of a strain. And so it was like, well, do we really need the battery? Like, we got the car. And I was like, let's just keep it how it is. And I'm glad I did, because that car, the radiator went out in the car, and thank God we had the battery for the van. So that's how I've been getting to work. But anyway, I said that to say, it ain't all rainbow, glitter, and gold when you're walking in your purpose. But it's very, very fulfilling. Like, after leaving that meeting, after talking and hugging and just sharing with my director, after even being going to the talent show, hugging on those students, just really just like, I even went because the performers were in the first row. So I got there early. So what I did was I went on the first row and I just started spewing affirmations at them. Like, you are beautiful. Like, repeat after me. I am beautiful. I'm courageous. I'm strong. Like, I just went down the row and just was like, because these children need that. They need that encouragement. And I know that it's difficult as a parent because I'm a parent. And I know that it's difficult sometimes to encourage children when you're all, okay, you got to get up, you got to move, you got to get your teeth brushed, you got to eat so I can get out the door, so I can get you to school, so I can get to work. Like, sometimes there's no room for encouragement because we all just struggling to survive. But that's why I'm appreciative of the position that I'm in. Because even if mom couldn't lift you up this morning, even if dad was yelling at you, rushing you this morning, guess what? You're going to see Mrs. Jackson today. And no matter how my day went, how my yesterday went, she's going to give me the strength to keep going. And she's going to give me that hug that I lacked today. And she's going to tell me that she loves me. And that I can do anything I put my mind to. So I'm not here to replace nobody's parent. I'm not here to make any parent feel guilty or feel bad or feel ashamed. I'm literally here to support and be the bridge between the two. And I'm just grateful for that. So, to attain healing has changed my life. To attain healing has changed my life. And if it wasn't for me working on my smile, because through SMYLE, I arrived here, ready to show up for my purpose. But if I hadn't have been doing the work on me, I wouldn't have been prepared. And I wouldn't have been able to say yes when the universe said it's time. I would have still been scared and operating out of fear. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. It even goes back. That's why you just don't know. You just don't know the connections and the people that you're meeting today. How in the next 5 or 10 years, those same connections. That's why you got to be good to people. That's why you got to treat people the way that you would want people to treat you. Like, we really have to be kind to each other, because we never know how we're going to need each other down the road. My director of the agency, this is her agency she started. I didn't know that we were going to have this relationship. I didn't know that this is what it was going to be. I just thought that, okay, that's my coworker. And I loved her energy and her vibe was dope. But that's just me with anybody. You know what I mean? It's just like, I can vibe with you. I can vibe with you in the hood. I can vibe with you in the hikes. Like, it don't matter. What we doing? And I connected with someone, and this was in 2012. But it had to go back to me filling out the application to be a social worker. Because if I would have never applied to be a social worker, if I would have operated out of fear, I would have never met Miss Tara Hill. Now, universe, of course, works in mysterious ways. So, she's a networker. I'm a networker. We eventually may have crossed paths. I still may have ended up being a part of her agency, but I don't know. But what I do know is I'm grateful. I'm grateful that she's not operating out of fear. Because if she would operate out of fear and would have said no to her purpose, I wouldn't be able to walk in mine. Or it would be more challenging to walk in mine. Because let me tell you, being a part of To Attain Healing, this is I've seen agencies, I've heard of agencies, I've been a part of agencies, but this agency right here, baby, this is truly allowing me to utilize my experiences and my knowledge to help someone else. Like, with me being able to be myself. Like, I don't have to put on a facade. I don't have to walk around, with a white collar on and slacks and pretend that I know it all and that I'm perfect. I can show up as me and still make a difference. And that's just why I enjoy being a part of To Attain Healing. And I'm grateful for the staff. I'm grateful for the clinical director. I'm grateful for the vision that my director, each time we're together, she just helps me create the vision for my future. And I'm very grateful to be a part of this agency. I really am. I'm very grateful that I can, expand and get my master's degree and get my licensure and move up the ladder, because where I am right now is good. But to know that I can go higher if I want to go higher, it's just so incredible. So don't give up. Just keep going. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let other people's opinions and experiences stop you, because this life is for you to live. And it's for you to decide. Just ask God for discernment, the ability to make decisions, correct decisions that will benefit you and not sabotage you. And just keep on going. Because yesterday definitely not going to look like today, and today is definitely not going to look like tomorrow. So each day we get up, we have a new opportunity to have a new beginnings. And this is new moon in Gemini, baby. And I definitely feel the weight lifted up off my shoulders, because this last season was very, very heavy. The earth was very, very heavy. It was very heavy on my shoulders, and now I feel real light and airy. And I'm about to go celebrate before I go see my next client. So thanks for listening. If you made it this far, I love you. Thanks for supporting me, and thanks for being with me. And I'll holler later. Peace.